pagbibigay pugay at pagpaparangal sa ating mga kababayang naninindigan at nagpapatunay sa kahalagahan ng katapatan at dangal. Ehemplo. Dan Andrew Cura para sa Ehemplo.
Magandang araw na naman po sa ating lahat at maraming salamat po sa inyong patuloy na pagtangkilik dito sa ating palatuntunang Ehemplo. Ako po ang inyong kaibigan, si Dan Andrew. At sa araw pong ito, maganda po ang ating magiging kakwentuhan dahil kakaiba po ito para sa atin. Pero bago po tayo magpatuloy at ipakilala ko po ang ating ehemplo sa araw na ngayon, ay gusto ko munang bumati po sa ating mga tagapakinig dito sa Kamaynilaan sa 702 DZAS, sa Bacolod over 1233 DYVS, sa South Cotabato sa 1062 DXKI. Magandang araw po sa inyo dyan. Sa Santiago Isabela, nandyan ang 1143 DZMR, our Missions Radio. Magandang araw po sa inyo. Sa Cagayan de Oro, 103.3 FM, the New J Radio. At sa Quezon, Palawan, siyempre ang ating himpilan po dyan sa 106.3 DZRK, Radio Kapit Bisig. At para po sa inyong nakikinig online sa febc.ph, ganun din po sa 702 DZAS FEBC Radio TV sa Facebook Live. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. At patuloy po tayong nagpapasalamat sa mga pagkakataon po na nabibigay po sa atin para maihatid sa inyo siyempre ang ating palatuntunan sa araw na ito. Ngayon po makakausap po natin ay ang founder ng Potion Project, si Malu Perez. Siya po ang founder ng Potion Project, POS, no? At maganda po dito dahil ngayon po ay titignan po natin ang kahalagahan din kung paano nating alagaan ang ating mga aso, no? At kung ano po ang ginagawa nila para makatulong ito sa ating lipunan. Si Malu Perez po ay nag-aral ng market management or marketing management sa De La Salle University at noong pong 2018, so bagong-bago pa lang, 2018, Malu started itong Potion Project, isa pong non-profit organization para po sagipin at tulungan at iayos at hanapan ng tahanan ang mga asong distressed o sabihin na nating nasa lansangan at naiwan, no? Nandun po parang kung sabihin nga, adopt a dog. Yan po yung ating titignan ngayon. So Potion Project began po sa Bacolod at ito po ay nagkaroon po ng yung tinatawag na pound, yung pong kung saan rin-rescue yung mga aso at marami pong nakinabang po nito. At dahil po doon, maraming nag-request at then eventually, noong 2019, sa Bulacan, nagbukas po ang isang branch nila. So ngayon po ang Potion Project ay 500 rescues na po ang kanilang nagawa. Ganon na din po yung nakahanap sila ng tahanan para sa mga asong nawawala o naliligaw. At gayon din po ay mga 100 na po yung mga aso na yan na nahatiran nila ng bagong tahanan. At hindi lamang po yun, sila rin po ay bilang rescue organization ay tumutulong din po sila dun sa stray feeding program. So yung mga sabihin na nating mga aso sa lansangan ay nabibigyan din ng pagkakataon na mapakain at maisaayos sila. At gayon din po yung spay and neuter initiatives, yung kung kailangan kapunin yung mga aso, tumutulong din po sila doon. Kaya maganda po, medyo maganda po, lalo na kung kayo po ay gustong-gusto mga aso, maganda po ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Kaya wag po kayong alis dito sa ating palatuntunang Ehemplo.
magandang balita. Sa mas pinalakas na partnership ng FEBC Radio TV at ng Great Commission TV, sabayang mapapakinggan at mapapanood ang weekday programs na Bagong Araw, Oras na Pilipinas, Serbisyong OFW, at Family Matters. Sabado, We Can Do It, COVID Watch Weekend, Ehemplo, Tabas ng Batas, at Okido, The 414 Kids Show. At Linggo, Karunungang Buhay, Kamalayan, Pananambahan, COVID Watch Weekend, at God is Able. FEBC Radio TV sa GCTV. Araw-araw mula alas 6:30 hanggang alas 10 ng umaga. Tumatawid mga programang pag-asa mula kay Kristo ang laging hatid. FEBC Radio TV sa GCTV. Dan Andrew Cura para sa Ehemplo.
Magandang araw po muli sa inyong lahat at tayo po ngayon ay nandito na sa ating palatuntunang ehemplo. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, si Dan Andrew. At tulad nga po ng aking sinabi kanina, ang ating pong tanghal na ehemplo sa araw na ito ay ang Portion Project na pinangunahan po ni Miss Malu Perez. Isa pong dog rescue, particularly animal rescue, na kakaiba po para sa atin ngayon, kaya magandang alamin natin. So simulan po natin ang ating pakikipag-usap sa ating kaibigang si Malu Perez. Malu, magandang araw sa iyo.
Hi, magandang araw Kuya Dan. Good morning sa inyong lahat.
Yes, sabi ko nga medyo kakaiba itong ating feature ngayon dahil nga kadalasan kasi ang pinag-uusapan namin dito tungkol sa mga kabataan, sa mga mahihirap, kung paano tayo makakatulong sa kanila in the organizations that help along these lines, no? So itong Portion Project na tumutulong naman sa mga aso, sa mga hayop ay magandang kakaibang bigyan ng pananaw. Pero before we go into that, siguro ikaw muna, Malu, gusto ko munang malaman, ikaw ba talagang kahit na nung bata pa, mahilig ka na sa dogs?
Yeah, actually po, ever since I was young, talagang I really grew up as a dog lover. But, just for everyone's information, dumaan din ako dun sa stage na takot ako sa mga stray dogs kasi naranasan ko din naman na yung isang aso, I remember nung bata ako, talagang he ran towards me and I actually experienced having to be bitten by, I really got bitten by a stray dog when I was young. So I also got traumatized. Pero, yun nga, I mean, that incident did not really take away my love for dogs. And even the stray dogs. Hindi na, I did not just love my own dog, pero every time na lalo na pag nasa beach ako, sobrang favorite ko yung mga dogs na nasa beach talaga.
Pero ikaw ba, ayan na, meron na tayong star of the show, nandiyan sa likod mo. Siguro, gusto ko malaman, yung bang pamilya Perez, like your parents, mahilig din ba sila sa mga aso? Para ika nga, pahintulutan ka to be with dog?
Actually, not at all.
Okay.
Because all of us, we're all asthmatic. Hindi naman na they hate dogs, but we were just not allowed to have more dogs. Yeah, because we were asthmatic. So, they all just learned to embrace all the dogs in this advocacy along the way. When they saw how blessed I was and, how kung gaano talaga na nabayayaan kami ng good health ever since I started Portion Project. So yeah, it was not all na talagang ever since ganito na, no.
Now, so the fact that parang they kind of adopted themselves into allowing you to open up to the dogs. Dito sa situation na to, kanina nabanggit ko na nagsimula ito sa Bacolod. So ang aking tanong, una, ikaw ba at yung inyong pamilya ay taga Bacolod?
Yeah, born and
Ah,
raised.
okay.
Born and raised. So,
So,
I'm really from Bacolod.
sa diin sa Bacolod.
City. Mismo sa city talaga in Bacolod.
Sa Bacolod City. So ngayon, right now, you are in Bacolod, I would presume.
No, I'm in Bulacan.
You're
at the
in Bulacan.
Shelter.
Okay, yung Bulacan Shelter. Okay. So yun, doon ko sisimulan. Paano nagsimula ito sa Bacolod? What prompted you para magsimula ng isang gawain to rescue the dogs?
So, lahat yun sobrang spontaneous, Kuya Dan. It was not something that I planned na sa start ako bigla ng shelter. It was all very spontaneous. But it has always been my dream na magtayo ng dog shelter. Pero alam mo yung, Kuya Dan, yung mga dreams na dinidream mo lang, parang wala ka naman talaga masyadong ginagawa. Or sometimes, we have dreams in our heads na parang medyo masyadong impossible siya. Kaya dinidream mo lang talaga siya. So, and I have actually really, I really wrote it in my yearbook that I wanted to put up a dog shelter. But, ayun nga, I think when something's meant for you, the universe and everything else will really, make things happen.
No.
So one time, there was a post on Facebook about 50 dogs on death row scheduled to be killed by gunshot. So hindi po euthanasia by gunshot. And unfortunately, it's legal. It's approved by the law because it's the cheapest way to eliminate dogs. So when I saw that,
primarily stray dogs stray dogs.
Stray dogs. Well, and then eventually I realized hindi lang naman pala lahat stray dogs yung nasa pound. Marami din pala na mga pets na sinusurrender ng mga owners nila kasi hindi na nila kaya.
Okay.
Biglang nag-agresibo, mga ganun na mga reasons. So, when I saw the post on Facebook, I shared it. Of course, kasi I'm a dog lover, I felt so sorry for them. I shared it, but it was up until there at first. Kasi, di ba, Kuya Dan, at the end of the day, 50 dogs is 50 dogs. Hindi
madami. Anong gagawin mo sa 50 aso?
Diba? Saan ko sila ilalagay? So, when I saw it, I shared it. And then, it was, I think 2 days later pa, when our family friend, Manang Jen Cosbaluela, the one who owns the farm, where the first shelter was set up, called me. Sabi niya, Mas, I saw a post on Facebook about dogs on death row. Are you willing to take them in? Because we were supposed to put up an Airbnb business dun sa farm na yon. It's an abandoned farm of their family. Yun nga, hindi na nagamit kasi since her dad died, hindi na niya kayang bumalik dun sa farm na yon. So, dapat maging Airbnb business na yun. Parang maging camping ground siya.
Okay.
And when she saw the post, she asked me because she knows how much of a dog lover I am. Ako naman, na wala naman talagang kaalam-alam sa dog rescue, walang experience kung paano ba niraran yung isang shelter, without second thoughts, I said yes. I don't know what was running through my head, but I just said yes during that time. And I've always felt na yun nga, this is really a God-given mission na, and everything was prepared for me already. All I had to do was to say yes. So I can clearly remember it was a Saturday when I got the call from her. The dogs were scheduled to be killed by gunshot Tuesday. So bumalik ako dun sa farm. And what a coincidence, I was really there at the farm when she called me. Kasi yun nga, nag-ocular na ako kasi dapat papaayos na namin para makapag-start kami ng vet. So when I got the call, I was there at the farm. And then I was like, okay, let's do this. So Sunday, I went back there, tapos pinaayos, pinagrass cut, kasi talagang hindi magagamit yung area. So I posted it on Facebook. And, by God's grace also, there were some people who offered to help, na-save yung mga dogs na yon. Monday, we were able to put up the first kennel, naayos kahit pa paano yung farm. Tuesday, I went to the pound and we were able to save those dogs. So, it was the most traumatic experience of my life, but that was the beginning of a better life.
Yeah, parang saved in the nick of time, sabi nga.
Yes. So, it was not planned at all.
Oo, ngayon matanong ko, siguro may mga nagtatanong na mga nakikinig sa atin ngayon. Ano ba ang tinapos ni Malu Perez at ano ang kanyang pinagkakaabalahan if Potion Project is an advocacy? Ano ba ang background ni Malu?
So, I'm actually a marketing graduate from LaSalle. So sometimes I get messages or calls from people, they address me as doc. So FYI, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm a marketing graduate and a financial advisor by profession. And I also have an online business, a zero-waste online business. So my advocacy prior to Potion Project was really financial literacy, helping people achieve their dreams, and the environment. Mm-hmm. And because my job was really, I'm just blessed to have a job na, I'm in control of my own time. I spent most of my time traveling and loving myself. During that time, I was in the corporate world for 5 years until I quit because I really wanted to do social work. I remember really the reason why I quit my job. I told my boss I wanted to do social work, but it was not clear to me then kung anong gusto kong gawin na social work. So I just spent a few months, probably 5 months, traveling and just loving myself. So that's what I tell people. I think all of these things now are fruits of loving myself. So all of this love talagang
binabalik mo naman ngayon.
Yeah, sumobra na. So I have more than enough na to give to the animals.
So pero ngayon you're in a sense parang nag-work ka pa rin. You still do your consultation every now and then with this advocacy. Now, Now, talking about the advocacy, so at least alam na natin na, okay, there's a way to support myself so that I can do this advocacy. Yeah. So ngayon, ang magandang katanungan to, lalong-lalo na dito sa Pilipinas. Sabi mo nga, you were trying to do something na para sa community, para makatulong, social work. Now, marami magsasabi na, oo, yung ang iba tumutulong sa mga mahihirap, sa mga bata. So ano ngayon ang value na magkaroon ng pananaw patungkol sa mga stray dogs at sa mga aso? Ano ba ang may threat ba yan sa community? Meron bang magandang magagawa sa community? Yan, maganda kasing i-educate na yung
That's right.
Why the pound? Yeah, sige.
That's right. Yeah, so first and foremost, I'm just happy that we are actually fighting for the voiceless animals because they can never speak up for themselves. I grew up celebrating my birthdays in orphanages. I've always loved helping street kids. And then when I realized when I started this advocacy, there is a sector pa pala in the society na hindi masyadong natutulungan. At ito nga mga animals, never talaga sila makakahingi ng tulong para sa mga sarili nila. Mm-hmm. And when I experienced that first ever pound rescue operation, until now, every time I remember it, I feel like sobrang fresh pa yung pain. And I'm scarred forever. After that, scarred forever. I realized sobrang kawawa sila. They're at the pound not because of their own doing. Alam mo, hindi naman po sila nakulong doon dahil nagnakaw sila, hindi nila kasalanan kung bakit andun sila. So, I think it's very important that we're raising awareness on the reality of stray animals in the country. Kasi, yun nga, di ba, I told you, I grew up really as a dog lover. Pero yung totoo po, not until I saw that post, wala akong kaalam-alam na grabe pala yung realidad ng mga pounds in the Philippines. Wala akong kaalam-alam na legal pala na barilin yung mga aso na nai-impound. I didn't know that there are other pounds na, the dogs there are starved to death. So, parang daming realizations. And I think, those dogs are there because we do not have enough programs for them. Number two, there's a really bad stigma on rabies in the country. Of course, rabies is really,
it's a reality.
It's a reality and it's really deadly. But, rabies is not inborn. So many people think every stray that you see, every puppy, every cat has it, when in fact, it's not true. So, kawawa sila na nai-impound sila because of the stigma on rabies na hindi naman pala lahat meron, di ba? I mean, it's something that could be prevented by the rabies vaccine. And it's something that could also, the spread of it can be prevented if nagpapakapon, di ba? Para makontrol yung population nila at responsable sana yung mga tao at kung hindi sila nagugutom. Kasi syempre nakipag-away sila dun sa mga rats sa basura.
Yeah. Siguro magandang malaman din natin. So itong mga stray dogs na ito, sabihin na natin, anong origin nila? Dati ba yan na merong nag-aalaga sa kanila, na nawala sila, napabayaan sila? Or parang stray cats na basta na lang lumalabas yung mga aso. What is the situation where yung mga aso ay nagiging sabihin na natin askal, sabi nga nila.
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I really would like to acknowledge all these animals are here because God created them.
Mm-hmm.
So, they were supposed to, we're supposed to be their stewards, diba? But again, because nag-overpopulate na sila and there are a lot of people who would take in animals because they're cute and they're nice when they're still puppies. Pag lumaki na sila, na may mga sakit na, wala nang balahibo, may galis, or biglang naging agresibo kasi naka-cage lang, they would discard them. And because they are not spayed and neutered, dumadami sila. Kaya, dumadami yung stray population. But these are just, this is just a result of irresponsible pet ownership.
So talagang talagang kailangan magkaroon ng awareness, magkaroon din ng education na kung kunwari yung anak ko gusto magkaroon ng aso, kailangan sabihin mo sa kanya, ito yung mga kailangan mong gawin diyan, ha?
Yes.
Yan, pakakainin mo yan, paliliguan mo yan, and all of those. Parang,
papakapon, para hindi na dumami.
Mm-hmm. So talagang now, obviously, mayroon namang iba na breeders na alam naman nila talaga yung mga dapat gawin. Pero mukhang mas nakakarami yung gusto lang yung aso kasi nga sabi mo nga cute.
Nice.
Tapos nun, kakalimutan mo na.
That's right.
Oo. So, given that, gaano kadami ang mga advocacies na tulad mo ngayon? Dahil I would think, ikaw pa lang siguro, kulang pa.
Yeah, there are, the Philippines is blessed actually with a lot of animal lovers.
Okay.
But only a few dedicated animal advocates. More importantly, only a few who are really knowledgeable about what they do and only a few who are really responsible. Kasi marami po actually, Kuya Dan, here in the Philippines, marami talagang naawa sa mga stray animals. But it's not enough. Hindi naman po kasi sila mabubuhay sa awa lang. And it's not enough na i-rescue lang sila. Ang daming kailangan i-consider Yun nga yung sinasabi ko nga, yung pagpapavaccine, pagpapakapon, it's more than just feeding them or giving them a shelter. So, yun.
At saka hindi lang yun. Kasi dahil alam naman natin yung veterinary requirements nila pagka yung may mga vitamina pa yan. Tapos papadoktor mo rin every now and then, di ba? Dahil meron din silang mga sakit-sakit, di ba?
That's right. A lot. Actually, mga stray animals po, total package. Mm-hmm. Akala mo okay yung itsura, pagdala mo sa vet, pag pina-blood test mo lahat, ang dami palang sakit.
Now, I have to ask, siguro baka may mga nagtatanong, Len, dogs lang ba ang inyong parang focus? O are there other organizations naman, cats naman for example? O paano ba ang situation sa ganitong klaseng animal advocacy?
Well, for Potion Project, we're focused mainly on dogs and cats. So kaya siya Potion Project because it's a passion project of mine dedicated to our furry friends with POS. So dogs and cats, like yung mga domesticated animals talaga and yung mga yung pinakamaraming stray talaga na population, dogs and cats. So we're really focused on that. But there are also a number of organizations in the country yun actually focused mostly dogs and cats talaga.
Ayan po, ang kausap po natin ngayon ay walang iba kung hindi si Malu Perez. Siya po ang founder ng Potion Project at ito po ay isang animal rescue for dogs and cats at baka po kayo rin ay interesado. So kung hindi pa po nakikinig yung mga kasamahan nyo sa bahay, tawagan nyo dahil pagkatapos po ng break natin, magbabalik po tayo at magpapatuloy ang ating palatuntunang ehemplo.
Bilang mga mananampalataya, ano ang dapat nating panuntunan sa pakikitungo sa kapwa?
As disciples of the Lord Jesus Christ, we are called to share the gospel to everyone, including the LGBTQ community. Why? Because God offered forgiveness and transformation that is available to anyone through His Son, the Lord Jesus Christ. The LGBTQ community, like any other group of people, person, apart from Christ, is in a condition of deep loneliness for true love. Like the prodigal son in the Bible. We were all once God's enemies. We rebelled against God, but we have now know the grace of God. So none of us, therefore, is in any position to cast stones of condemnation toward any people. Lastly, we must minister to them in ways that God calls us to do. Let us seek God's will in how we journey with this community.
Ang tinig ni Bishop Noel Pantoja ng Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches. Para sa mas malalim na kaalaman sa panuntunan ng Biblia sa usaping ito, bisitahin ang website ng Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches.
Dan Andrew Cura para sa Ehemplo.
Nagbabalik po tayo sa ating palatuntunang ehemplo at magandang araw po sa inyo. Ako po ang inyong lingkod, si Dan Andrew. At sa araw pong ito, ang ating pinag-uusapan ngayon ay yung pangangalaga sa binigay sa atin ng Panginoon ng mga hayop tulad ng mga aso at pusa, no? Itong mga pets, no, na napapabayaan po at hindi po sila naalagaan. Pero mayroon pong isang grupo or isang tao, sabihin na natin muna, na nagpasimula po nito at walang iba po yan kung hindi ang ating ehemplo sa araw na ito, si Malu Perez. So Malu, balikan natin yung ating usapan. Sabi ko nga, mga taong ito o grupong ito, dahil I'm very sure, hindi lang ikaw. Sige, ikaw ang nagsimula, ngunit sabi mo nga, malaking endeavor ito, lalong-lalo na yung tumawag sa iyo para gamitin yung farm nila sa Bacolod, ano? So how big is the group now, itong Potion Project particularly?
Well, like the core people of Potion Project, after almost 3 years now with 3 shelters, we're still actually just a very small group of dedicated people who all keep regular jobs. So, mga volunteers lang din. But of course, meron din po tayong mga caretakers sa shelter. So, like right now, siguro, we're a team of, siguro nasa 15 to 20 volunteers, plus the caretakers, siguro nasa 15 din na caretakers.
Mm-hmm.
That's covering more than 500 rescues and 3 shelters.
Okay. And I would think na meron bang coordination, because I'm very sure Potion Project is probably one of many animal advocacy groups in the Philippines. Kayo ba ay mayroon ding parang tulungan ba yan? May asosasyon ba kayong ginagawa?
Unfortunately, none in the country. What usually happens is, well, there are instances na nag-coordinate din kahit paano. Kasi syempre po, di ba, ang daming locations ng mga dogs and cats na nangangailangan. So what usually happens is, in the country, people post on dog groups, they post on Facebook, and then they ask for help. So there are times na we would offer kami yung magta-transport, and then if may malapit na shelter dun sa area ng dog na yon, we will try to contact them if they can take them in. So yun yung mga ibang mga instances na nag-work together, but there's actually really no like legal entity or alliance of the different animal welfare groups in the country. Unfortunately, none. And we're praying that day comes.
Oo, kasi dahil right now, it's good that there are advocacy groups na gumagawa, pero sabi nga nila, pagka nagtutulungan, mas madali.
Maraming nagagawa.
Madaming nagagawa dahil some shelters might also be overloaded na rin tapos papasa nila sa iba, parang ganon.
Yeah.
Now, dito sa inyong situation sa Posion, okay, so nagsimula siya sa Bacolod. Paano naman kayo nagkaroon ngayon diyan sa Bulacan ng shelter? Parang that's a far off.
Yeah.
You know, you're in Bacolod City, all of a sudden mayroon sa Bulacan. Paano nangyari yan?
So, I was here in Manila then to process the documents for the registration of Posion. And when I posted about, kasi I remember like when I rescued yung first batch ng dogs, automatic naisipan ko na talagang itayo yung Posion project. Kasi diba parang, I thought during that day, no, it's not enough to save these dogs. I have to put up something and, have a louder voice for them. So that's when I decided to put a Posion. So I really wanted to register it, make everything legal. So I was here in Manila to process the registration. And then I got tagged in a Facebook post na merong dogs on death row sa Muntinlupa. Okay. So I went there.
Akala ko mga preso lang ha. Meron din pala mga dogs sa Muntinlupa.
Yes, oo. So pumunta po ako to Kuya Dan sa Muntinlupa. And then after that, it went viral. It was featured in a number of news. And then when we were able to successfully save those dogs, I got tagged again about dogs on death row in Bulacan Pound. More than 100. That was the biggest number that I got since I started. 106 to be exact. I can clearly remember. 106 on death row at the Bulacan Pound. So, I went to the pound. Wala pa yung shelter. I didn't have anything here in Manila. Pumunta ako dun sa pound. And when I saw the situation of the dogs, I posted about it. Without any, wala naman akong intention na i-save sila. Kasi diba, yung 50 nga lang para na ako na-win na 106 pa kaya. So, I posted about it. And then people were all crying for help. People were all asking if we can save the dogs. So what I did was, I posted if there's anyone na may ma-offer na land here in Bulacan so that we can just temporarily save them from death row. What happened was, one of the people from another dog group suggested their farm here in San Jose del Monte. And then when I went there, sobrang daming manok. So I said, hindi pwede to. We cannot use this kasi ma-endanger naman yung lives ng mga manok. And it so happened that the land beside it was that of Coco Martins. So I posted about it, but to cut the long story short, we're not able to get that space. But Isa Calzado helped me by posting on her personal Facebook page. She posted on sa personal niya Facebook page kung meron pwede mag-offer. So the shelter that we have here in Bulacan right now is that of her high school barcadas. So like hoping humanity, lahat talaga very spontaneous. And that's why we have this one now. So this is also, just like Bacolod, the shelter in Bacolod, this is an abandoned property also. So we started everything not just from scratch but from ruin. So mas mahirap pa siya.
siguro since nandiyan ka, baka gusto mo i-pan ng konti ang camera mo para naman yung mga nasa Facebook natin baka gusto nilang makita. No, kausap po natin. Kausap po natin ay si Malu Perez at yan po mga asong na nasagip po nila. Yan.
So
sa Posion Project. Yon.
So we have here more than 200 dogs.
So 200 ang mga asong nandyan ngayon sa loob.
Yes, more than 200 and then we have around 100 cats. So this is an almost 2-hectare property. So when I had this, it was really nothing. Walang bubong, walang lahat, wala to lahat. So it was all through the efforts of people who believed in the advocacy and mga volunteers na nagtulong-tulong na nagpaint yan ng wall. So it was really hope in humanity. At natutulog sila now. We have there our caretakers and our vet also. May ginagamot na aso.
Tama-tama, nabanggit mo yan. Pagka kunwari may nakikinig sa atin ngayon, tapos gusto nila na, parang gusto ko rin gumawa niyang advocacy na yan. Ano ba yung mga kakailanganin? So, syempre may land, tapos kailangan pa may veterinarian. Ano ba yung mga kailangan to put up a shelter like that?
Well, first is really you have to make sure that the area or the space that you want to build your shelter in is away from, from a neighborhood or away from, syempre, mga residential na area. Kasi you don't also want to bother people. Okay, at the end of the day, those are gonna be a lot of dogs barking, especially when they're hungry. So yun yung number one I consider. As much as possible, if kaya din, as of the moment we're renting out the property, so we're still actively looking for space na magiging amin. So, yun, number two is if kaya, nasa inyo yung land na yun para at least mas madali yung mga improvements. Kasi, if you wanna put up a shelter, dapat i-meet yung guidelines ni BAI. So, BAI is the Bureau of Animal Industry. May mga certain guidelines po sila para maging, importante po yun kasi hindi na pwede na rescue ka lang ng rescue, tapos hindi sakto yung space or yung mga kennels and cages sobrang maliliit. But us, as you can see, our animals, our rescues here are free roaming. I really don't like caging. And we're able to achieve this because we also work so hard na mapakapon po sila. You cannot rescue dogs, tapos i-free roam mo sila, tapos hindi nakapon. So, dadami lang sila, di ba? So, it defeats the purpose. So, all our rescues are free roaming, they're vaccinated, they're spayed and neutered. So, we only have to deal with them. So, yun yung isang guideline din. You have to make sure that you have enough resources at least na, again, I would say to everyone, it's not enough to just feed them and give them a roof over their head. Ang dami kailangan i-consider.
Sa ganyang situation, mayroon bang mga nagvo-volunteer na mga veterinarians para tumulong sa inyong advocacy? I would think na marami rin tayong mga vets na gustong tumulong.
Yeah, if there are vets watching now, we need you more than ever. Because when I started Potion Project, syempre yun nga, di ba po, I'm a marketing graduate. Wala naman ako masyadong connection sa vet world. So, we would spend so much dun sa mga vet bills ng mga dogs kasi tinadala talaga sila sa clinic. But now that we have, more than 500 rescues, it's just impossible for us to keep on bringing them, one by one to the vet clinic. So, meron po kaming mga vets. We give them allowances also. But we're glad na once in a while, we are able to get volunteer vets. Like ngayon, happy kami kasi may mga vet med students. They really love it kasi may more exposure and more learning sa kanila. So, yun, happy kami kahit pa paano. But we need more. We need more volunteer vets.
Oo. Now, babalikan ko yung kanina. Doon sa introduction kasi, na nakalagay doon sa inyong background na kayo rin ay nagbibigay ng parang neuter initiative. So, kayo mismo nagkakapon. So, ano yun?
Yeah.
May mga taong pumupunta sa Potion Project so that they can have their dogs neutered and spayed. Tapos, and then anong ibig sabihin nung nagbibigay kayo ng relief operation? Ayan. Ano yung relief operation?
Yeah, so first for the spay and neuter drive, yun po yung isa sa pinaka-focus namin. Because at the end of the day, we cannot rescue them all. The Philippines has around 13 million stray animals. Imposible po talaga na ma-rescue natin sa lahat. So, that's why we want to focus on controlling the population by spaying and neutering. And it's very expensive. Pag sa private vets po, nasa minimum 5,000, minsan umaabot ng 13,000 yung spay operation. Depende siya sa weight ng dog. But because we have volunteer vets who are willing to help us, sometimes we pay them allowances, sometimes hindi na sila humihingi ng allowance. We only just cover the medicines. So, kahit pa paano nakakamura. So, yung costing na lang siya sa amin, like sa pusa, nasa 500, pag-aso, 1,000 to 1,500. So, sobrang laki yung natitipid pag may mga volunteer vets. So, when we have spay and neuter drives, minsan dito sa shelter, minsan meron din kaming napipili na lugar or minsan itatap namin yung isang certain na subdivision, makipag-partner kami sa kanila, tapos doon kami magkakapon.
Okay.
And then, for the relief drives naman, yun nga, as I mentioned earlier, when I quit my corporate job, I really wanted to do social work. So ako po kasi kuya din yung tao na every time may nakikita ko na may sakuna or kung ano man yung nakikita mo sa Facebook, parang ang sakit lang talaga isipin na may mga ibang tao na, alam mo yon parang sa isang bagyo lang nawala lahat sa kanila. And yun nga, Caution Project really is an ultimate testimony that God provides. Kahit na feeling mo wala ka, pero you just try to extend help to one family, one person, and the blessings just come. So every time kung may makita kaming sunog or may mga baha, of course our focus is really the animals kasi wala naman talagang relief drives for the animals. But yun nga, on the side, we also help people. And when the lockdown started last year, we started the stray feeding program. So that's something that I am really proud of na, for me, it's more than advocacy. It's really a ministry and a lifestyle. Alam mo, nasa dugo mo na parang hindi mo na kaya, na hindi mo pakainin yung stray animals. So we started feeding the strays nung lockdown. By God's grace, we were able to feed more than 1,000 stray animals for 3 to 4 months.
Wow.
Meron po kaming na-employ na more than 10 animal lovers na na-displace sa trabaho nila. So we were giving them allowances and supplies. And yun, we would go on relief drives. Kasi yung maganda lang here po sa Bulacan, syempre we're here near Metro Manila where the head offices are dun sa mga suppliers ng dog food. So what we did one time was I made an appeal on Facebook and Instagram na kung meron mga supplier na may mga near expiry na mga dog food, minsan tinatapon na lang yan or dinidiscard. So when we posted that, we were able to get a lot of donations na mga dog food. And since they're near expiry and hindi naman siya mauubos, what we did was we checked out on Facebook yung mga ibang mga small shelters na sobrang dami nilang mga rescues. Yeah, so we would share our blessings and yun talagang ultimate testimony. Every time we would give back, talagang meron at meron dumarating na blessing para sa amin.
Pero it's amazing kasi totoo yun yung perspective na sinasabi mo kanina, lalo na pagka kunwari may nasusunog o may disaster, kadalasan talagang iniisip ng mga tao ay tao. At walang tumutuon dun sa, oo nga naman pala, no, meron palang mga aso, animals na sila rin distress. No? So
we
malaking...
do not have a relief disaster team. Wala po para sa animals. Like, we did a rescue operation in Taal, nung pumutok yung Taal. Tapos yung mga recent na mga bagyo, di ba? Ang sakit lang sa puso na nakikita mo na lang sa Facebook, yung mga aso, after na natapos yung baha, andun sa mga cage nila, natatabunan na ng putik, namatay na. Kasi, yun nga, walang rescue operations for the animals.
That's right. Wow. So it's magandang to para sa mga tagapakinig natin ngayon. It's an eye-opener na ano rin yan, handog sa atin ng Panginoon yan, binigay sa atin yung mga animals na yan for our enjoyment. Pagkatapos nun, pagka nagkaroon ng disaster, napapabayaan na. Kaya magandang nabibigyan din sila ng pansin sa katulad ng Caution Project. Now, in terms of difficulty, if there is someone looking at gusto ko rin ito, ako rin, animal lover, gusto kong gawin ito. Ano ang mga difficulty na pinagdaanan ng Caution Project to actually get things going? Ano ba ang pinaka-major hurdles?
Well, number one, of course, is lack of resources and manpower. Again, 13 million stray animals. We get hundreds and hundreds of messages and reports every day. It's so heartbreaking to say no, and it's so heartbreaking na you cannot accommodate them all. Kasi if we can, we'd take them all. Kung kaya lang po talaga namin, di ba? And if treatment and rehabilitation was for free, we'll take them all. So I think that's number one. The lack of resources and manpower is what really hinders us from helping more. And then, syempre, sama na natin dun yung financial na aspect. Again, it's not cheap at all to sustain. Mahirap na nga minsan mag-sustain ng 1-2 aso lang, all the more than 500. And these are not healthy dogs. These are dogs na kompleto, total package sa lahat ng sakit, mga hit and run na kailangan i-surgery, i-amputate. So, the financial aspect is really one. And, it's an everyday battle. Every day of your life, you wake up and you think, we still have enough to feed them. We still have enough to pay the rent, the utilities, the caretakers. So, that's number 2. And then number 3, actually, ito na total package. This is actually really exhausting in all levels. Emotionally, mentally, physically. Like ako, I am very, very hands-on with Caution Project. Like 95% of my life is devoted to Caution Project. and the little 5% is for myself and for my job. So it's so draining. Lalo na po, for me, lalo talaga emotionally and mentally, all of the reports that we get, yung mga hinihingi po ng tulong sa amin, kahit hindi ko man nami-meet yung hayop na yon, every time na tinutulungan namin, every time nakakuha kami ng update na the dog or the cat did not make it or namatay sa vet, masakit din po, masakit pa rin siya. So,
siyempre.
Alam mo yung, I feel like I don't even have time to grieve anymore. Kaya minsan nagtatanong mga tao sa akin, paano niyo po nakakaya? Sabi ko parang, I don't even have time to grieve anymore because, it just keeps on coming and wala na talagang time. Minsan, umiyak.
Paano ngayong given that, no, na napakalaking anong responsibility and nung emotional baggage, pagka ganyan, dahil you're attached, no? Passion mo nga, sabi mo nga. Are you able to coordinate with government entities like take for example yung PAWS, yung Philippine Animal Welfare? Meron bang nakakatulong ba? May partnerships ba with some government or local government entities?
Unfortunately not. So with our almost 3 years of existence, we still don't get any government or corporate funding. Kahit pa paano, I'm grateful to Kong Ronnie Ong. We met him because he's a classmate of one of our Potion Project leaders. So he's helped us give a voice to the animals in Congress. Last August of 2019, we were able to pass a House resolution already na i-revisit yung existing na Animal Welfare Act. Ang dami po kasi kuya na nag-comment sa Facebook na sana merong batas para sa mga animals. We have one. We already have an Animal Welfare Act. It's just that it's not properly implemented.
That's right.
So the resolution that we passed was for them to revisit the existing Animal Welfare Act and mag-come up ng committee para, alam mo yung may specific committee na alam ng mga tao kung kanino sila magrereklamo. Alam nila kung sino yung paparusahan pag pumunta sila sa barangay at hindi inattend yung reklamo nila. That was the resolution. But then, COVID happened. So until now, hindi pa nag-hearing. So maybe if we have more government officials watching this one, I hope that you can also be our voice. We need more people in office who can, help us with the existing laws kasi lahat po ng mga ginagawa namin baliwala kung yung laws natin hindi pa rin na-implement ng tama.
Well, Malu, since nandito na rin lang tayo, why don't you make a pitch for some of the corporate groups na baka naman nakikinig ngayon? How do they get in touch with Potion Project if they actually want to help?
If you want to help, and I appeal, please help. Please get in touch with us. You can contact us through our Facebook page or you can send an email to potionproject@gmail.com or visit our website. It's potionproject.org.ph. Every little thing helps here. Kahit hindi man po related sa animals, yung product ninyo or yung company ninyo, there's so many ways to help us. Or if you're a supplier of dog food, cat food, you sell rice, you sell meat, vegetables, disinfectants, all of those things are helpful to us. So, or you can sponsor spay and neuter drives, or if you can help us, if there's a philanthropist watching this and you want to help put up a public veterinary hospital for us, because Kuya Dan, we really want to help a lot of pet owners and animals. But sobrang mahal talaga ng vet bills. So, kung meron po sana kaming sarili na public na vet hospital na kung meron magsasustain, kahit hindi na po talaga kami magpabayad, gusto lang namin na marami kayo matulungan, kailangan lang ng magpa-fund. If you're that person, please get in touch with us because, helping these animals is just so rewarding. It's life-changing, and I tell you, the blessings that will come back to you 100,000 folds talaga.
Ayan. So, nagbigay na po ng appeal si Malu. So, I would strongly suggest na take the appeal at tulungan po natin. So, alam niyo po, ang kausap natin ay si Malu Perez, founder ng Potion Project. And when we return, yung mga huling sandali natin, aalamin natin kay Malu paano pang maging ehemplo ang isang animal lover dito sa Pilipinas. Sa ating pagbabalik dito lamang sa ating palatuntunang ehemplo.
Bilang mga mananampalataya, ano ang dapat nating panuntunan sa pakikitungo sa kapwa?
Ang LGBTQ community, they belong also to the family of God by virtue of God's creation. Kaya lang, tayo namang mga evangelical Christians and Bible-believing, we believe in the spiritual rebirth by virtue of our spiritual regeneration. Nagiging anak tayo ng Diyos kung tayo ay tumanggap sa Kanya. Pero, by virtue of God's creation, pantay-pantay tayo doon. Now, dapat maging malinaw din yung position natin. Ang same-sex relationship, ang same-sex union is not allowed by God in the Bible. So dapat tignan natin yung biblical perspectives, pero dapat alamin din natin yung mga legal perspectives ng bawat miyembro ng community. Dapat ang bawat isa na mamamayan ay protected ng batas at dapat bigyan sila ng equal treatment.
Ang tinig ni Bishop Noel Pantoja ng Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches. Para sa mas malalim na kaalaman sa panuntunan ng Biblia sa usaping ito, bisitahin ang website ng Philippine Council of Evangelical Churches.
Dan Andrew Cura para sa Ehemplo.
Tayo po'y nagbabalik sa ating huling sandali dito sa ating palatuntunang ehemplo at tulad nga po nung dati, lagi nating pinapaalala na kung kayo po ay mayroong mga kakilalang mga ehemplo, okay, alam niyo po sa amin para naman po maaari natin silang makausap. You can get in touch with us at 0999-223-5675 sa Smart and 0916-296-620 sa Globe. So, balik tayo kay Malu. So, Malu, as we come to a close, siguro yun nga ang tanong natin, paano ba to take the mantle of a role model? Baka may nakikinig at how do they take the mantle para magsimula, maging exemplo bilang isang animal lover?
Well, for me, Kuya Dan, I think first and foremost, you pray for it. If you want to set an example, especially to the youth of the day, you pray for it, you ask for guidance, and sure naman ako talaga, if God wills it for you, if ibibigay yan ni Lord sa'yo, lahat, He'll make things happen, kahit gaano man siya kahirap. Number two is, if you want to be a good example, especially with having to fight for the voiceless animals, I think for me it's very important you embrace the reality. You pop that bubble, you go out of that, that thinking in your head that ang cute ng mga dogs and cats, or you only focus on your own pets, because the reality is, ang stray animals in the country, grabe yung paghihirap nila, ang daming problema na kailangang i-address. And, again, these are animals who can never go to the vet and ask for check-up. These are animals who cannot buy food for themselves if they're hungry. These are animals who are forever, just trying to fend for themselves in the street. yun nga, na tayong lahat na experience natin kung gaano kahirap ang buhay nung nag-COVID. You know, these stray animals, COVID or not COVID, ganto ang realidad nila. You know, they scavenge for food every day. Wala talaga silang resources, may COVID man or wala.
Tsaka when you think about it, if you take care of the stray animals, it will also take care of the people around them. Kasi nagkakahawa-hawaan din sila ng kung ano-ano pong mga sakit, di ba?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yun nga, parang yun yung sinasabi lagi ni Cesar Millan, na healthy animals equals a healthy environment also.
That's
so, you know,
right.
if we take care of the animals and, you know, if we're tidy sa ating mga environment, we're all gonna be protected from diseases. If we, you know, if we're kind to animals, then, you know, there will not be a lot of incidents of dog bites because hindi na sila scared. You know, these animals are naturally mabait.
That's
It's
right.
just that, you know, they've been through so much, inaabuso sila, or nagugutom sila, kaya sila ganyan. So, yun yung tagline po talaga namin sa Posyo, you know, be kind to all kinds. Kasi dyan nagsistart lahat-lahat eh.
That's right. So be kind to all kinds. Ako, on that note, Malu, maraming salamat sa Potion Project at maraming salamat sa oras mo. Ang prayer natin is maraming taong nabuksan ng ang mind nila na ay importante pala ito. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you Kuya Dan. Thank you everybody.
Yeah, God bless you and do take care. More power to Potion Project. Ayun.
God bless you too. Bye-bye.
At yan po ang ating ehemplo ngayon. Talaga namang kabilis naman ng oras, ano? Kasi maraming salamat po kay Miss Malu Perez, no, founder ng Potion Project. At sana po kung kayo nga po ay mahilig sa aso at gusto niyo pong tumulong, abay wag po kayong mag-atubili at puntahan niyo po ang kanilang Facebook page at hanapan niyo lang po yung Potion Project, Malu Perez, at maaari po kayong makatulong. At siyempre po ang ating pong paalala rin, kung mayroon po kayong mga kakilalang mga Kapilipino natin na nagpapakita ng galing ng Pilipino, abay tawag lang po sa ating numbers 0999-223-5675. Yan po yung smart number natin. At yun din pong 0916-296-6620 para naman po sa Globe. Kung gusto niyo po mag-email sa amin, siyempre po dzasinfo@febc.ph o di kaya mag-post po sa ating FEBC Radio FB page. Huwag niyo pong kakalimutan yan. At siyempre po tayo po ay nagpapasalamat muli kay Aruel Mendoza sa pagkukumpuni po ng ating palatuntunan ngayon. Kaya po, maraming salamat sa inyong patuloy na pagtangkilik at tulad ng dati, ako pong inyong lingkod, si Dan Andrew na nagpapaalalang saan man, kailanman at kahit na sa anong paraan, maliit man o malaki, maging isang mabuting ehemplo ka, kaibigan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.